In this section, we're going to see how to manipulate data in an Excel sheet. In the previous video, we saw what a row and a column is. Where a column and a row intersect is called a cell, like anywhere we are actually is a cell. So this cell has a name which is derived from the combination of a column and a row. So when these two intersects, when a column and a row intersects, where it intersects is called a cell, and this cell is named from the column name to the row name. So this E2, and this can equally be seen in the name box E2. You can select multiple cells at a time. So when you stand anywhere here, you drag, you can be able to select multiple cells. Remember that to select a cell, you go in, is to select multiple cells, you go in the cell where it shows this wide and thick console, like what we can see right now. When you stand at the edges, you cannot select a cell. Instead, you can carry the cell. We're going to see that subsequently. So to select, I make sure that my mouse shows this icon and I can drag. I click and drag. We will then see how to enter data in an Excel sheet. Let's say I want to enter the days of the week, and I'm standing, for example, in cell D3. I'll write Monday, I'll write Tuesday. So you realize that when I enter data in the first cell and I want to get to the next cell, I press the enter key. The enter key will give me access to the cell below the one in which I was. If I instead use the tab key on my keyboard, it will instead bring me right where I'll have to enter data. To modify the data which was earlier entered, I can come to the cell of the data I want to modify and I double click on it. I'll have the possibility to modify the information which was written inside. Alternatively, I click on the cell, then I come in the formula bar and modify. So from here, we can modify and add or add new things to that cell. Let's say I want to enter some other informations in another column. Let's say some figures. So I'm standing at cell F3 and I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So it's the same thing for letters. To modify, you can double click inside and enter or modify what you earlier wrote in that cell. From here, we can realize that the information that we entered in these cells are kind of not completely entering in the size of the cell. So we can modify this by coming at the top of these columns. We stand in the middle. When it shows this arrow of left and right, we can hold and drag either to the left or to the right to resize the column. This can be same with the row. If you want to resize the row, you come at the end, you stand where there is the line and you either drag up and down. You can equally set the width of each column and the height of each row. This can be done by right clicking on the column where you want to set the width and you take column width. You will see here you have the possibility to enter a width. Let's say, for example, 9, and I press OK. You can see it will resize the column to be with the width 9. Same as I can add it and instead say 13. I press OK, you will see it is going to give a width of 13 to this column. Like we explained earlier before, anywhere we are located is called a cell, and this cell will be explained in 3 different dimensions. The first one is when our mouse shows this white cross. Like we said earlier before, it is used to select. When we have this white cross, we can select the entire, or we can select many cells at a time. When you select many cells, the bunch of cells is called a range, meaning when it is one which is selected, it is a cell, but many makes a range. In a cell, we have the angles. If you come by the angles, you realize that our mouse icon will change, and it will show this black and the thin icon with arrows left, right, up, down. This option or this icon at this level permits us to carry information from one cell to another. Let's say in the cell where we wrote Monday, if we come at the edges and we drag somewhere else, you see it will carry the information which was written there to another place, and we can take it back there. The third thing we will see is the angle 90 degrees of this cell. You can see a square at this angle. This is what we call in Excel autofill. This helps us to input or to enter data in Excel automatically. Excel is an intelligent spreadsheet which understands a lot of things. If, for example, I come here and I write Monday, I come back to it and I come at this angle when it shows this black cross without arrows. I hold on it and I drag down. You can realize that it is counting, or it is giving me the different days of the week. This is what we call autofill. Autofill simply does in the next cell what was done in the previous cell. Same as if I write 1 in this cell, I come back to it, I drag down, you will realize that it will repeat exactly what was done in the first cell downward. But in this case, you realize that it is repeating 1 all through. If I come back here, I put 1 in the first cell, and in the next cell, I put 2. I select both of them and I drag down. You will see that Excel will understand that we have 1, 2, so it should continue by giving us 3, 4, and so on. That's a beautiful thing about Excel. Now, let's say you want to delete an information from a cell. We take an example with this. You can just click on the cell you want to remove the information. You either press delete on your keyboard or you press backspace. You can equally select the cell and come at the ribbon, more precisely at the home tab. On your right, you see clear, and when you click on clear all, it is going to delete the information which was written in that cell. You can equally come back, like to correct the action you just did. You can come up here, you will see undo clear. You undo it and you realize that the information that you deleted or what you previously did has been cancelled. I'm going to delete these informations. I select all and I'll click on the delete button on my keyboard. If you have the intention to copy some informations that you have already inputted in your Excel worksheet, you can select the area or the cell or the range you want to copy. So if I want to copy Monday, I select on it, then I press Ctrl plus C on my keyboard. The dots by the side makes us to understand that this cell has been copied. If I want to copy a greater or more than one cell, I can select the range of cells and I click on Ctrl plus C. I can equally right click and choose copy. If you copy information, it is likely that you have to paste it, like to put it somewhere else. What you have to do, you stand in the cell where you want to paste the information and you click on Ctrl plus V, and you can see the information has been pasted. The cut function permits us to completely remove what was written in the previous cell and paste it in another cell. To cut, you use the key Ctrl plus X. You stand in the next sheet, or you stand where you want to paste the information and you press Ctrl plus V to paste, and you can realize that it carried all the informations which were here and it copied it in the area you wanted it to be. When entering data in Excel, you might have some issues where you input some informations and you have to insert a row between the informations. If we take the case where I omitted something after Monday, like I have to input an information before putting Tuesday, I'll obviously need to insert a new row. To insert a row, I come by the end, I right click and I click on insert. You can see that it has insert a row for me. If I want to insert a column, I click up here, I right click and I take insert, and you will see it will insert a column for me. So I can now enter informations in this cell for the column F. Now you know how to manipulate data in Excel. Are you happy? See you in the next video.